a John Deere cedar wheel. John Deere tractor cedar wheel. Old sucker. Picked this up a while back at a car show, flea market. And I think I'm going to make a Lazy Susan for the outdoor homestead farm table out of this monstrosity. You know what I mean? Nice big one. Alright, my current plan on this thing is to make about a 5-inch ring of wood all the way around the outside. That'll give me a 24-inch Lazy Susan. Something on a base so it'll spin on this axle. Then I'm just working on a pattern, figuring out what it's going to take to kind of level this out. And I need some 1/2-inch wood. I'm going to cut a circle. I think this is 6 3/4 circle here to come up to this row. So I'm going to cut a 1/2-inch wood circle and then split it where these ribs are. And then I'll have to back cut some of it so it'll set in each of these sections level. And then unlike this, it will be round. It will follow just shy of this row of circles. And then I'll make it straight across so you can set something on there and it won't, you can put it on the edge or right there, especially when it's a little longer. So that's the plan. Then I may make a little something coming up with just a small, maybe something for a small plant or succulent, something like that. We'll see. Get down the road away. So that's the plan. And of course this is going to be pretty natural. I'm just going to lightly brush it and flat clear it to save that patina. That's the plan. Could change. You know, Littlewierdshop, who knows? Okay, what I'm doing here is I've had all this shiplap or whatever tongue and groove spondrils of pine left over. So I'm going to put all this together and cut my 24-inch circle out of it. And then cut the circle for the diameter of the wheel out of the middle of it. And then the very center is going to be my 6 3/4 I need for the center of that wheel over there. So I'll be getting 2 things out of this, the 5-inch ring that goes all the way around the wheel and the center piece that goes around that spinning axle center. So I'm going to none of these were long enough, so I'm going to put 1 biscuit. I just squared all these up, 1 biscuit end to end, get them all glued up, and then stagger the joints and get them glued into the tongue and groove there. See how that works out. Okay, I got the first stretch glued together here. Got 1 biscuit in the middle. Doesn't need a lot of strength there once these are all glued side to side. And I'm going to stagger, not sure how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to stagger these joints about 3.5 inches is what I decided. Hi Izzy. Hi Izzy. Izzy the shop chicken just stopped in. So I'll put a little 3.5-inch mark here. So, thinking on this one, I think I'll glue it together and slide it in there, and that'll help keep it straight, but not glue these sides yet. Just use now this center one to kind of guide it and keep it flat. Let's try that. So, 20 biscuit out here. Come on. Biscuit, glue brush, glue. Glue into it. And it's lost the one. Here, Sam. Split it. Not even. I just keep up. That's fine. Okay, there it is. All of them are glued end to end with the biscuits now. Just clamp together to keep them straight. Then I'll pull them apart, stagger that seam, and run glue in the tongue and groove there and glue them together sideways so I can get my piece with seam staggered. Cut my 24-inch circle would be the next. Okay, and just so we've got it here, that 24 inches will get cut out. After I cut the 24-inch diameter, then I'm going to cut out this diameter, and that ring will go around this, so I'll have a 5-inch ring of that around this. Then out of the middle of that leftover, I'm going to cut the 6 3/4 that goes in the center of this to level that out. And probably going to leave me with another 5 or 6-inch ring, but we'll probably find something to do with that. But anyway, that is the plan. Whether that's all going to work, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, this is just about set up. And that's 3 pieces that'll make up the circle. And here's the other 2. So next thing we'll do will be to join those 2 together. So 1 more seam, join those together. Then when that sets up, I already got the circle cutting jig set up in the bandsaw here. Got my mark at I think it's 24 3/8 inch diameter. So we're ready to roll when all that's glued together and dried. All right, I got this 24-inch circle cut out. And then I realized I had 1 joint that wasn't even glued. So I had to take some of the cutoffs, put them on each corner there to square it up so I can get some glue in it and clamp it up so it's just about ready to come out of the clamps now. So I don't know how it stayed together while I circle cut it on that jig on the bandsaw there, but it stayed together until I took it off and started wobbling around. I thought, what the heck? So, minor setback. All right, there's my 24-inch circle. Actually 24 and a half, I think. Yeah, 24 and a half. So I think my next step, figure out what kind of edge I want on this thing, and first sand it, touch up sand it on the belt sander, and figure out, and then probably sand this, and then figure out if I want to route an edge on it of some kind. And I think I changed my plans. I was originally going to cut just a ring on this to go around that wheel there, but this here, but I decided that this wouldn't be strong enough, especially when picking it up, because this thing is so heavy, and I didn't feel like I could, no matter what I did, I couldn't get this ring around it sturdy enough to hold all that weight. So now I'm thinking I'm going to drill a hole through this so this can set down through the hole, and then it will, so it'll be kind of like that, except it'll be touching here, be brought up. And I'm still going to put the center up here of wood, so this is level, so you can put items here, and this will be flats items here. Still not sure what I'm going to do. If I'm going to do anything coming up here. Whatever I do coming up here could be kind of optional. I could make it so I could take it out, put it in, whatever. So I think that's the plan now. Okay, what I've done here is to help secure some of these joints on the back side. This is a little trick I've used off and on. I've flipped it on its back side and run some biscuit slots in, holding the cutter straight up and down. These are pot size biscuits, so it doesn't go all the way through. And then I'll put this expanding polyurethane glue and glue these in here. And then I'll fill up all the cracks, and that should strengthen it up quite a bit. I've used that on a lot of cookies that I've made for clocks and whatnot. On the back, wherever there's a crack, to help hold it together. Then, as you all probably know, water helps this stuff even expand more. So I like to put a little moisture in the slots. So, squeeze a little bit of this in it. If you put it in, flip it around, put it back in, then I'll end up putting a little bit of weight on it. When it's got so that all right, there, everything's glued. A little bit of weight on it. Just keep, when that foams up, pushing it out. Show you it's already foaming up and sealing all around and getting down in the cracks around it. So once that sits up, we'll take this baby, saw them flat, sand that back a little bit, then go over, sand the front or top, and then go sand the edges on the belt sander. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm thinking about edging this in something other than the pine, something contrasting, like possibly walnut, thin strip of walnut, and edge that. So not positive yet, so we'll see. And actually, this stuff I didn't know what it was that I had out there. I found this, and it was kind of orangey looking, reddish orangey. I thought maybe it was Purdue. Well, after I cut into it, cut a thin strip off, walnut. Just what I was wanting to use. Look at that. Doesn't look anything like it, but look at the edge. I think it's just weathered. I think it's been in the sun or something. Doesn't look like it there, but once you cut into it, good old walnut. Well, that'll work. I got one strip cut. I'm going to need 2 strips to go around there. So these strips are, and I think it's a good thickness, and it'll bend around there. These are 6/64, so that's what, 3/32 of an inch. So here's my setup to cut them. I've got this gizmo here, which is set to my 3/32 from the blade there, when I cut the previous strip, so that stays there. Then as you cut these strips off, you just keep moving your wood, the fence over to this, stop it there, and it gives you consistent thin strips. It's actually I use that thing for many other things, but it's actually a thin strip cutter. It's what it's made for. I think it's made by Peachtree, and really high quality piece of stuff here. Got a ball bearing in here. This is aluminum. Got a ruler on this side. Goes in the miter, tightens down. I think it was like 20 bucks. Good investment. Okay, so I got the 2 strips cut. I'll give you a feel of how this is going to look here. So wrap it right around this edge like that. It'll look pretty good with that contrasting color. Clean that edge up. I like it. I think what I might try to do here, that's pretty smooth, is use contact cement. And probably nail it every so often with a small brad nail. And clamps where needed. And just kind of take it easy and go around this slow. And I'm hoping that'll work. I don't want to use a glue that, I'd rather use contact cement, something that's going to adhere to right away, you know, as I wrap it around. Probably give it a nail every 8 or 10 inches. So that's what I think we're going to do. Well, so far, so good. Okay. Okay, here's the next day with all the clamps off of that walnut edging, and I've planed it. I just have a little silly little Stanley plane, so I did the best I could to get the walnut level, and now I'm going to hit it with the RO sander, sand the top edge all the way around, then actually start sanding the trim. Overall went better than expected. Contact cement worked pretty good. Okay, I got this edging all level top and bottom. This is the back. Level all the way around and sanded with 60 for now. Right now I'm going to put the hole in the center for the center of that wheel hub. So I've got it marked off. It's varied a little bit from when I cut it, but right here. So I'm going to go ahead and drill a hole clear through, and then drill with my Forstner from the top down in case it splinters out, and then give it a fit, see how it does. And after I do that, to cut the hole, then I'll probably finish sand it. I'm probably going to go up to 180. I'm putting marine spar varnish on this, so I'll drill that hole. If everything's good, I'll sand the whole thing to 180. Then I'll tape off this bottom where it's going to get, the wheel's going to get epoxy to it. And then I can start coating it. Yee-haw! Okay, this is the top. There's my small hole drilled clear through it. Now I've got a, I forget what size this is. I think it was 2 1/8 Forstner bit. I'll come down through there, and that hub should slide right in there. I think I'll take a measurement, double check that, because that will be hard to enlarge a little bit. So, and this would be better to be slightly larger than too small. So I'll check that. All right, this is the bottom of the wheel. Get down here as low as I can. I'll be right there. That is 2 and 12/64, which is 2 3/16. Next size up would be 2 and 7/32 or 1/4. Let's see what bit I had here ready to go already. Had a 2 and an 8, so I need to go a little bigger than that. Make sure it's going to set all the way down there. Okay, I think the closest I can come, 2 and an 8. I've got 2 3/8, and then I jump up in 3 inch and up. 2 3/8 is a little too big, but I think this 2 1/8 will do just fine. 2 and, so go with this 2 and an 8. I think that's what I might have had to start with. Okay, got that drill. That 2 and 8 worked out good. I've just got a couple little nubs on the back of one side here. I need to grind off to get it to set all the way down. Then when I get that set all the way down, just need some 180 sanding on that wood, and that'll be ready for finish, and then I can start on this center walnut hub, which I think I gotta go get some wood for that. I don't have anything that I can use, so. Okay, I cut a walnut circle out on the bandsaw here with my circle cutting fixture to go in this center here. It's gonna go in there. So, then I also scribed line, which is the size of this hub on it. So once I saw cut this into 4s to go in like these pieces, then I'll have my line to cut for the curve for the center. So I'll have this line, I cut that for that curve, and it's already cut this curve out here. Once I split it in 4 pieces, the saw curve should allow for this, so these little triangles should fit right in there. Then all I'll have to do, I think, is just angle the outside edge with the 45, which I may do now before I cut it with the on the router with the 45-degree bit. So I'll probably do that around the outside, and then cut it into its 4 pieces, and then try it in there, and then cut the half little quarter circle on each piece, then fit it in there, and see what else I got to do to get it to fit into this depression here. All right, I got my circle. I took on the router and put a 45 all the way around the bottom side of this as much as I could. That's as much as that bit would do. I'll probably have to do more on the bandsaw later when these are the pie-shaped pieces. But now I'm getting ready to cut this thing in its 4 pieces, and I'm going to do this here on the table saw sled, and I'll put a little bit of double-side tape on each side for this cut and run it through, get it in half, then take each half circle, cut it into its quarters. Okay, there's the 4 pie-shaped pieces with the circle cut for the center hub. Now, what I have to do next is put a little bevel on this for this little hump here, so it'll go in there a little better. Let's see how that is for levelness, and take it from there. Back cut around there. I think I'll might sand that curve with the little drum sander first, then back cut it. Okay, I just relieved one of these where I cut out for the center hub right here. Just on this sander here, it worked pretty good. Came out pretty even and it fit pretty good. So I'm going to try another one, and just did it like this. Go try it. Okay, these are the 2 I've relieved for the center hub there. So that's, that kind of slopes out. So that's, I think, sitting pretty. That is pretty good. A little high on this side steel, I'd say. So I'll have to relieve that a little bit. That one's still pretty high. I've noticed this wheel is definitely not uniform at all. Actually, that's hitting a little bit right in there. To relieve those corners here a little bit also. Well, I'm out here in the Littlewierd pole shed, and I've took the angle grinder and I grounded down a couple bumps I had that were on the bottom that were going to sit on that ponderosa pine circle. So those are ground down. Then I cleaned up the area where it's going to epoxy to that ponderosa pine. Cleaned it up and then masked it for this matte clear. I just sprayed some matte clear on there so it's still a little shiny. It'll dry flat. And then I'll flip it over to the top where I brushed all the loose off, and I have the center pie sections where those things are going to epoxy in, masked off. So we'll shoot that with a couple coats of clear to hold that patina. We'll take a look at it after it's all, both sides are sprayed and dry. Okay, we got it all sanded 180. That's as far as I'm going to go, and got the center masked off where that cedar wheel there will get epoxied to this. So don't want any varnish on that, and so now I got to make a spot to start varnishing. Alright, this is first coat going on here. Got the little wedges over here done. First coat. Okay, this is a 1/2 inch thick, 12 inch diameter circle. That's going to be the base for the Lazy Susan. The mechanism will go on here and then hook to the bottom of that big ponderosa pine piece I'm working on there, putting finish coats on. So let's finish cutting this thing up. Alright, get you back up. Here is the base, flat black painted, and then 1 coat of marine spar varnish on it and just sanded it to 220. That's why it looks a little funny. Hasn't been cleaned off yet. Here's the little wedges after one coat of the varnish and the 220 sanding. And here is the top after 2 coats of varnish and just hit it with some 320 sanding. So I got all 4 coats on the main part of the Lazy Susan here. Had this masked out where it's going to get epoxy to the wheel. I have it mounted, got it mounted to the base with the little Lazy Susan spinner thing. So blacked out that base. So it's in there now. Spins. Needs a little lubrication. So next step is going to be epoxy all in here and the edge, and then set that wheel in there, get that wheel epoxied on there. And then after that, all these little wedges that have 4 coats of marine spar varnish are going to get epoxied around this center hub to level it out across there. So epoxying this thing with the wheel is next. Well, I just glued the epoxied the first wedge in there. So I've got this weight on it, so I'm gonna see how that comes out. If it comes out all right, we'll film putting these others in. So got this board holding it. I used that board also to make sure it was level with the outer part. So see how that comes out. Okay, last little pie shaped piece, then epoxy. Looking good, not bad. Touch those up a little bit, but not bad. I cut a little 5-inch walnut circle for that top riser piece. Okay, this is kind of my idea here on this center thing. Something we can take in and out, put in there. Of course, this isn't finished yet. Put a little indentation here. Put some various plants on there, or a candle at times, or maybe I'll make something so I can stick a little sign in there. It says "Happy Birthday," things like that. And this will be attached to the pole. But the pole is just going to come out, and I actually have a couple different ones if I wanted. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping I got some ponderosa pine. Maybe on this top piece I'll take this walnut and band it with ponderosa pine, kind of the reverse of down here where we've got the pine and the walnut band. We'll see. Alright, I put some rubber feet on the bottom of this thing so it doesn't slide around on the table out here. I use these screw-on, it's got stainless steel screw rubber feet. I put 3 on that 12-inch base underneath there. And no won't slide on the table outside. They do a good job. I use these on all the outdoor homestead benches and table, although I used bigger ones on those. So I like the fact that they come with the stainless hardware. Okay, I thought I'd bring the Lazy Susan out, take a look on the old homestead table that I built not too long ago, about 45 wide, 10 foot long, 4 benches, 2 6-foot, 2 4-foot benches, and ponderosa pine top. And there's the Lazy Susan, which is ponderosa with the walnut edging and walnut dealies in the center of that John Deere cedar wheel. Now I'm just starting on the center piece that goes down in the hole where that plant is. So yeah, looking pretty good. Okay, that center dowel for the riser on the Lazy Susan, it was red oak. I went ahead and put some walnut stain on it. Wanted to kind of match those pie-shaped pieces in the top piece, so it's pretty good. Alright, here is the Lazy Susan with the first centerpiece done. We'll cut it off with that one. I'll probably make another one down the line with a bigger top on it. That's just the one we would use for little plants or candle. Might make a bigger one that would hold something a little bigger and maybe a little lower for chips, something like that. So, that's it. Okay, there she is, all done, riser and all. Not sure how good these pictures are out here in this bright sun today, but works good.